That extra bite's getting you.
Yeah, feel my body temperature just rising right
That's
now.
right. Some oat milk.
What, are you okay?
Give it some oat milk, see how that... It's got some like underlying heat. Good flavor, but tastes like gasoline.
Oh my God.
Ooh, give me the hiccups. I mean, that's good.
Oh my God, it's stilly. Oh my God, it doesn't stop.
Do the exercise, eat some hot sauce. What's your signature dish, Jack? Oh my God.
Oh
It was all child's play before 100K.
Oh God.
Now it's hot.
I'm looking off camera.
Hello there. I'm Will. I'm the CEO of Panther, and I'm here doing Hot Ones with my good friend and esteemed colleague, the founder and CTO of Panther, Jack Naglieri.
Hello, hello.
Great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You ready to get after it with some hot wings today?
I am indeed.
All right, so we're gonna run through some questions, and as we go, we're gonna crawl up the Scoville ladder. You've had an interesting career. What do you think you did differently that enabled you to make that leap from security engineer to founder of a company?
I think it starts with always having the aspiration to run a business and to start something and to be a builder. I've always been really intrigued in creation, building, orchestration, all of these types of things. And I think becoming a software developer turned that on to me, wanting to keep building. I think the other side of it is saying yes to the right opportunities. We have a very unconventional founding story. So we were incubated at a seed stage venture firm, and then we grew into what we are today over the last about 6 years.
So I forgot to mention that all of our hot sauces are named after security thematic topics. Cheers.
Salud.
Let's see what we can do. Oh, it's pretty tasty.
I put way too much.
So you're a believer in detection engineering as a discipline. Think that's important?
As a discipline, it teaches people the right things that they need to know to progress their career as well. I kind of learned it on the job, like I think a lot of other security practitioners do, to automate themselves out of pain that they've experienced. I really wanted to learn how to make the systems better, have better data, do a better job at, being a security practitioner.
Now people have the job title of detection engineer.
That's right.
Is that new?
It is new, yeah. I mean, detection as code wasn't really a thing for a long time. Stream Alert and the projects around that time, Elast Alert, Similar, were really the first ones that started this trend. That wasn't really a job.
Yeah.
It was you're on a CSIRT team, you respond to breaches, and you write alerts. And there's always these like step function inflection points that happen in industry in general, and I think this is one of them.
Let's go for the number 2.
Baseline blend.
So the detection engineers, is it going to be a job that you see in every single SOC in the next 5 years?
I think so. I think that world's evolving very quickly. It's still to be determined the impact of AI in security engineering. In detection engineering in general, a lot of people think that it's a lot harder because of the programming requirement that comes with it, but AI just completely reduced the entry point to get into that now. So AI should help people. There's a lot of startups that are investigating doing this on the triage side.
Right.
That's probably going to get a lot easier, or we're going to elevate our floor to be tier 2 by default. So we'll definitely start to see more prominence.
What do you think the difference is between security engineer and detection engineer?
Security engineer is more broad. It's typically more around securing the application of the company. So best practices and things that would protect the application from being compromised. So more on the AppSec side. Security engineering wasn't really a term used in detection until recently. It's been kind of blended because of the detection engineering.
You want to go to number 3?
All right, I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
How did you get into security?
I stumbled into identity and access management, which is, depends on who you ask, whether it's security or not, but I've always considered identity and access management the front door of the organization's security program. I always thought identity and access management was a very utilitarian thing to understand. When you think of detection engineering and detection as code, how do you see critical infrastructure systems like identity playing a piece of that puzzle?
It's super important.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's getting hot. I think it hit me a little bit on that one. Ooh, this one smells great.
What's the title?
Threat threshold, 14,000 Scovilles. I'm gonna flip the wing over.
Give yourself a flat bottom.
God.
Oh,
Salute.
Salute. Kind of sweet. Detection as code. Is everybody doing it?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's the same shift that happened in infrastructure as code was this system that was built internally for a lot of years.
Right.
And then it became standardized and then declared in code. And then things moved to immutable infrastructure and things got containerized and Kubernetes and all these things. The evolution to code, everything as code, has already happened.
Yep. That extra bite's getting you.
Yeah. I was like, my tongue's feeling a little numb. I like feel my body temperature just rising right now.
That's right.
I think it's going to be more prominent. I think there's going to be degrees of depth in code.
Yeah.
Some people are going to want to go really intense into code, and some people are going to just want to do the bare minimum that they need to get their job done. Detection as code. Does that mean that you have to be writing software for it to be considered detection as code?
Right.
Or is a declaration like YAML considered detection as code? I think most people accept detection as code as anything that can be declared, as long as you can check it into a repo, it's structured, and you have these pieces of composability, reusability, and
Right.
those same practices as software.
What do you think people get wrong about detection as code?
Well, I think in general, there's things people get wrong just about SIM, right? Kind of like above detection as code. And I think what people get wrong is they assume that they should have 1,000 rules running at once without really understanding why. A lot of the things that we've been talking about on the podcast, also to plug the podcast, the Detection at Scale podcast, is intentionality. Why do I want to get an alert that someone's scanning me? And the answer is I don't want to get that because it doesn't matter, right? So it's like the balance of your controls, your business logic, and what you care about from a security perspective is what should really go into that. And then you can start to think about the detection as code side. But if you do the first part really well, then the second part becomes a lot easier in general.
Shall we?
We shall.
Let's do it.
My nose is running. That was healthy. I respect that. I respect
Equally sized dollop. Cheers.
Salute.
It's not that bad. I don't really taste it.
I feel like this is hotter than this one.
Yeah. Where have you seen leaders go wrong in trying to build out detection engineering functions and teams?
To be honest, the first.
Some oat milk.
What? Are you okay?
Give it some oat milk. See how that. See how the oat milk does.
I think a lot of the root, going back to what we were just talking about with intentionality, is exactly that. Having the right mindset of understanding, like, what do we need to detect and why? I think if we do that really well, it's a great first step.
Yeah.
And then thinking through all the way to the end, thinking about, okay, we have a rule, what are we gonna do after that? And then how do we just plot all of the steps and cut it in half? What do we care about measuring? What do we care about reporting in our program? And are we taking a growth mindset when it comes to making our team's processes better over time?
Detection engineering as a role, as a job. How do you get the job? What skills, background, experience do you need to find yourself in that position?
I learned how to be a cloud engineer, or I spent a lot of time just hacking around on Amazon and AWS. And when I joined Airbnb, I had never used AWS at all. So I think just an understanding of cloud infrastructure, or really just infrastructure in general, is important to do the job for a lot of reasons. Just enough software development is important. And then obviously just being an analyst, because you have to have a good understanding of how attacks happen. And you have to live through a few of those incidents and spend a few months or years in war rooms and learning about the range of attacks that happen, and living through those breaches and those vulnerabilities in general teaches you the mindset.
Ready for your next dollop of hot sauce?
Yeah, but I think the level of difficulty is gonna go way up on this one, is my guess.
Yeah, 50 grand.
I'm trying to get all the other sauces too.
Definitely peppery. So you said it's important for detection engineers to have some of that war room experience.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of matriculating up through analyst work. With AI coming, what do you think that means for the pathway that people take in order to really understand the attack?
AI is going to make it better for us. It's going to make our jobs easier, and it's going to diversify our thinking. So I think
Diversify or standardize?
I think naturally Gen AI is not really standard, right? There's always a level of randomness that comes with it. That's why, unless you prompt it in certain ways, but a lot of the times with models, you'll get slightly varied responses depending on your prompts. So I think just learning the art of prompting and understanding how to interact, it's probably never going to completely eliminate the need for an analyst, because there's so much different context that's needed. But I think we need to start now.
How do you think it'll impact the job of the detection engineer?
I think it's going to make it easier as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you can use it to generate code, it's good at doing that, right? Like, it's trained on such a massive data set of code, and it can really help you figure out what good is. And I think that's the beauty with something like AI. is it takes what's known and sort of combines it in new ways that's interesting. Taking huge data sets and finding that intersection of the right answer. My nose is running.
Shall we?
Oh yeah. Let's make these answers a little bit more entertaining.
Let's keep going.
Oh yeah.
It's got some like underlying heat. Good flavor, but tastes like gasoline.
Oh my god.
Ooh, firewall
It's not
fury.
stopping.
That's good. Give me the hiccups. That's good.
Oh my god. It's stilly. Oh.
Woo. Woo.
What's your morning routine, Will?
Get up, walk the dog,
Oh my god, it doesn't stop.
do the exercise, eat some hot sauce, get out the door. What's your signature dish, Jack? Oh my God. Woo.
Oh
It was all child's play before 100K.
Oh god.
Now it's hot.
I'm looking off camera.
Ooh. Woo. More oat milk.
I feel like I just ran a marathon. That one is fury for sure.
It's hot. That's the firewall fury.
What the hell happened between those two?
The company's 3 values: be an owner, take care of the team, create customer love.
Yep.
How are those informed by your time in the SOC?
Create customer love is the one that was probably formed the most by it, because there's always this inherent distrust of vendors. As a security practitioner, I'd say like, well, you were never in my shoes. You don't really know what we're actually doing.
Right?
I think that's what made me more empathetic of building software.
Yeah.
Security and detection and response in general is so unique. It's not as relatable to a lot of developers. So I'm not talking about people who work in security. I'm talking about software engineers who help us at the company build our product for practitioners.
Yeah.
So figuring out really clever ways to teach them what our practitioner audience goes through has been pretty fun and kind of challenging. One of the things I absolutely always hated as a practitioner was the content that vendors would put out would be so generic and not talking about the actual problem.
Right.
And that's one thing that we've been really focused on doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing in detection at scale. That's why the podcast exists.
Let's climb the ladder. 0 day zest, 550,000.
Salute. This is like my,
It's the boneyard.
oh yeah, that one's hot.
I feel like the other one was hotter. You like cars.
Indeed. I used to be a car detailer when I was a 16-year-old.
What was the nicest car you detailed?
A Rolls Royce.
Yeah. What kind of car do you drive today?
I have a Tesla.
Yeah. What's your favorite feature of the Tesla, and what's your least favorite feature of the Tesla?
The self-driving is amazing. It's also a great demonstration of how AI has gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Like, it will drive you from point A to point B in a city.
Yeah.
That's insane. It does some weird things sometimes, like it'll just stop.
Yes.
Like, it'll think it sees something, but it's a perfect explanation of AI, right? It's like AI does 90% or 80% of it. You do the last 10 to 20%.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
Shall we try the top of the chart?
Yeah.
Your biggest influence, both personally and professionally.
Who's my biggest influence? I think it's changed every point in my life. I would start with my dad. Cliche maybe, but I think the work ethic that I learned as a kid was probably the best thing that influenced me in my life.
Yeah.
Through everything. And I would kind of leave it at that.
Do you have a personal mantra?
Have faith.
Have faith.
I've always had that one.
Nice.
Since I was like a 20-year-old. It actually originally started from music, funny enough, that mantra. It came from writer's block. It's like just having a positive mindset that you'll figure it out if you keep working at it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the time today. You passed the challenge. You can get more security tips, practical tips, advice from the Detection at Scale podcast, hosted by Jack Naglieri. Your favorite practitioners, favorite security leaders coming on the Detection at Scale podcast. You can subscribe to Jack's Substack, where he posts quick snippets and long form articles about the latest tips and techniques for security engineers, detection engineers, security analysts, and security teams. And if you want to be on my show, you are more than welcome. Hit me up direct, Twitter. I don't have it, but you can find me. Thanks for being with us today. Salute. Good. That's easy when you have a good guest on your show, you know?